complex that you need add-ons to play it. Maybe the problem isn't the add-ons. Maybe it's the fact the game is being over-designed in order to compensate for the fact that people have computational add-ons. I don't think timers are a big deal. Timers aren't that big of a deal, in my opinion, at least. However, I think everything beyond that, and I think this started in like Warlords of Draenor or somewhere around there, or maybe like Legion. Add-ons make every decision for you, and they visualize things in a way that makes the fight easier. So yeah, Archimon with the laser beams is a great example. Yeah, Legion, it got out of hand. Yeah, and they had a small problem with this back in what do you call it? Back in Wrath, but they changed it, and it's not that bad anymore. Screw that. Final Fantasy 14 has so many different options. Does it need add-ons? Yeah. And I think that WoW has been trying to improve their design like that for quite a while. Where you had to get more than one add-on? Yeah, absolutely. And one guild made a beautiful dance to evade that shit? Oh, yeah. I mean, of course they're trying to do their best to keep this kind of stuff in. But I actually think that it's better for the game, and I actually think that it's even better for the high-end guilds. That they don't have to worry about having weak auras. Because it's like one extra level of difficulty and complexity that no longer exists. And a lot of hardcore players actually have said the same thing that I have. I know Scribe has. Maxim already talked about this. Yeah, a lot of people are happy about this. Because it's like, it's kind of like having to use Shame to ban cheaters who got world first and ultimate clear. Oh yeah, of course they have. And I think that's a good idea. Yeah, the arms race was exhausting. I thought so too. I'm glad to see it. They need to remove add-ons to be able to port to console. Well, I hope WoW does come to console. I think that's a good thing. Is this just for Mythic? No, I think it's for the entire game. And I think it's also, I hope it's for Mythic Plus too. Because like, I don't know about you guys, but like I find it to be very tiresome to do Mythic Plus, and then you have to deal with like 7 mechanics at the same time. You have to deal with 3 different mobs that have 2 different spells, and then you also have 2 affixes and the seasonal affix. It's crazy. And what do people do? Do they just get better at the game? No, they just get more add-ons that play the game for them. I'd love to give more context if you'd let me. Yeah, sure. This is like one of the guys that works on DBM. Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's my mic?
I think it's actually pretty good. Guys, let me know. Is this good? Does this work? Yeah, okay, it's good, yeah. So anyway, for people who don't know you, you want to like introduce yourself, kind of tell yourself, tell everybody like what you do, like how you're interacting with add-ons and all that.
Yeah, I've basically been the sole maintainer of DBM since Wrath of the Lich King, so when people think DBM, they know I'm the guy doing it.
So you're the DBM guy?
Yes.
So it's your fault that all the fights are too complicated?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think it's Blizzard's fault. I think we're just trying to combat crappy visuals, and we've been telling them this for a year. When you have red on red on red, and you can't see shit on the ground, you turn to a mod to solve the problem for you, because the game design sucks. So,
I totally agree. And so how do you think we got here? From Wrath? Like, how have these add-ons just gotten more and more and more complex and computational and advanced? And do you think Blizzard is like, they are actually doing an arms race with the add-on developers, or they have been for the last like 10 years?
They've absolutely been doing an arms race back and forth. They're trying to counter us, and then we're trying to counter them, and it's going back and forth. And I actually couldn't be happier about the upcoming changes, because it's pretty exhausting to try to think of what can we do next to combat this. When I was making the mods for Classic, I'm thinking, God, these mods are amazing because they're simple. Simple mods for simple mechanics.
Yes, one mechanic. You don't need too many mods for that. No, I understand that, absolutely. So, I guess, how is this going to affect DBM?
Well, the examples they specifically cited is problem solving. They're still trying to solve you coming up with a solution for them. So take, for example, Razaghat. There's a bomb mechanic in Phase 1.
Yeah.
And add-ons are auto-marking them and auto-assigning them. They're saying, you 3 targets have bombs. Circle, go over there. Star, go over there. Diamond, go over there. And that's just auto-solved for you when the debuffs go out. They do not like that. They don't care if you know you have a debuff. They don't want you to know what to do with the debuff. So what they're probably going to do is just scaling it down so the add-ons won't know you have a debuff, but you will know it's coming. So we're still going to have timers, and your unit frames are still going to be able to say, hey, there's a bomb on you. But they're not going to be able to tell BCARs or DBM everyone else has a debuff or things like that nature, so you can't auto-mark and you can't auto-assign.
So they're going to be effectively removing the decision-making aspect of the add-ons while maintaining the awareness aspect.
Right. They don't care add-ons are making you aware of something, they just don't want you telling you what to do with it.
Okay, that's good. And do you think that the level of awareness of like timers and all that, do you think that's pretty much okay for the game?
I think so. What's interesting is ever since Wrath, they had code in the base UI to have boss timers. In fact, that API still exists in the code. They just never used it because they didn't have to. It's one of those things where, well, if an add-on does it, why do we have to? Save us money.
So you're saying that like the game could have been better if there were no add-ons because they actually coded legitimate boss timers into the game. They just didn't put them in because the add-ons did it better?
Pretty much. That's my take anyway.
That is, wow. All right, well, glad that's not happening anymore, at least I hope not. And do you see this affecting like high-end players, or actually more so like besides high-end players, do you see this affecting the way that Blizzard designs fights, this change?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping they improve two things, audio design and visual design. Like, there's a reason Final Fantasy works with no add-on. That's because they telegraph everything so clearly. Well, there's outliers, of course, but most of the time it's telegraphed pretty clearly, and you don't need an add-on to tell you there's a big funnel facing towards you. Meanwhile, you're in Quarter Stars, and you got that quelling shockwave, and it's clipping under the bridge, and you can't see shit on the ground, and you're like, well, I just died to it because I didn't see it happen. Well, that's what you need to install an add-on for, so you can see it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that the amount of times that like you get killed by like like in Court of Stars, I think it's like the second like mini boss. She does that AoE around her, and like half the time the animation doesn't even cast. It doesn't show on your screen until it's almost over. Stuff like that.
Yeah, they need to do much better on visuals, especially when they're scaling up old dungeons now. They need to revisit dungeons like Court of Stars and go, hey, this is not modern. It needs to be fixed.
Well, I think that it goes to, I think a really good way to look at this is that Court of Stars got nerfed whenever they changed the visual effect of the last boss. That should, changing the way that something looks should never nerf the content, in my opinion. I think that's insane. So, yeah, I do hope this makes it better. And do you think this will be better for, like, high-end guilds, like World First guilds, like MDI players, etc.?
I think there'll be less stress towards having coders do stuff. I don't think coders are going away. They're still getting a weak Rs guy. Their just purpose probably be more towards, hey, I want to know when this trinket procs. I want to know when all my cooldowns are up. Things of that nature. Like, weak Rs isn't going away. DBM probably isn't going away either. Just the scope is changing.
Do you think that Blizzard should implement more in-game tools to do the functions that weak Rs already solves?
Yeah, they need to continue to look at stuff and be like, well, why are these add-ons mandatory? How do we make them optional instead of mandatory? And that's improving the base UI, improving visuals.
Do you worry that this kind of stuff will negatively affect DBM in the long term because less people will find it mandatory?
Yes and no. I don't think it's going to be going away. It might hurt it like somewhat, but I don't think it's going to hurt it that much. Like, there's people who download mods that I haven't updated in 10 years because I just didn't bother uninstalling them.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if they're not even using DBM anymore, they're probably still going to be updating it for years to come.
Yeah, okay. That's good to see. I mean, is there anything else you want to add? I mean, because I feel like this is definitely a huge improvement, and I'm glad to see this. So, like, insight that, like, maybe other people wouldn't know as, like, not being add-on developers, etc.
I mostly just wanted to clear up the... I've already read some of the wild comments, and people are reading it and they're like, oh, add-ons are dead. Kill all add-ons, and that's not good for the game. It's like, you don't want to kill all add-ons. There's a reason some add-ons are still important. I get feedback constantly from people who say, hey, thank you, I'm blind in one eye, or my hearing is not so good, and your visuals help me understand the mechanic better, but the base UI doesn't, and we still provide a function to improve the accessibility of the UI. And as long as we're just sticking to that scope, we're improving the display of information, not solving it. I think add-ons are great for the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that giving people a new way to look at what they can already see is completely different than giving a new way for people to solve what they see. I absolutely agree. I remember I even asking him that in an interview one time, and he said pretty much the exact same thing. So I hope this is like that middle ground that still allows people to customize the game and the UI in the way they want, but not actually, trivialize mechanics that are supposed to be challenges.
Right, and I think as long as we go in that direction, it'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks a lot for coming on and talking about it, man. I really appreciate it because I think that add-ons have been like such a big point of contention ever since Final Fantasy XIV started getting more popular. And people see how it works in that game versus Lost Ark and a couple of other games, and they're like, well, why do we have it like this in WoW? And especially like what you're saying, red on red on red on red, and then there's also 5 other spell effects happening. Yeah, of course it's hard to see stuff.
I do want to answer one more question regarding something in the chat. Like, people are wondering, well, why did you add that stuff in the first place? Blizzard had to counter you. And it's one of those things where if you don't do it, people are just going to switch to the guy who did. Like, it's 2023. Metagaming isn't going away. People are going to do the min-max as possible to complete something. If you can do it, you will do it. And if you don't do it, you're behind everyone else who did.
Will do it, and then
so,
you lose.
Yeah. So it's like, if I didn't put something in DBM, you're just going to download Bigwigs or a week or whatever.
Or they'll make something completely new that does the same functionality. Like, I remember there was like a sources raid tools and then method raid tools, and like each other add-on that effectively did things that the DBM or weak auras or Bigwigs didn't do.
Right, it's a very do or die situation. So basically, why I'm happy they're nerfing the API is because it's less I have to do. It's one of those things where it gets exhausting when you have to do everything possible, because if you don't, then someone else will and you're left behind.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just hope that this will make it a more even playing field for players, and also, more conversations about the awareness of mechanics and things like that. Actually start happening.
5-5.
It's not really an issue. Everybody has add-ons, because that's really not true. So yeah, man, thanks a lot for coming.
Is that right?
I appreciate it. Is there anything?
Yeah, it is.
Just support your creators whenever they're creating,
Thanks a lot, man. I really fucking appreciate it. And if you find out any more of this stuff, just go ahead and let me know. And I'll be sure to.
Alright, take care now.
You too, man. See ya. Nice guy. Look at that. And yeah, he's like one of the main guys for DBM. He's like the
Wait, is this 5?
So yeah, make DBM for Diablo 4 world bosses. What to do? Absolutely. Yeah, I think so too. I was really happy how it out.
That's apparently just 5. I don't know why.
See here,
Well, the back one is 6. This is just 5. Same with this, it's gonna be 6 here. Three, 4, 5, 6.
Absolutely.
8.
And then start making the game fun again, rather than trying to make it a challenge for people that play it and have 15 different add-ons to play it for them a million different ways.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 72. Same ba sila? Are they the same? Yep, 72. It's just gonna be the same for that. 8, 6, okay, it's gonna be the same. Or this side, how do I get there?
There are a handful of YouTubers that are currently being sued for $1 billion in a class action lawsuit right now due to them promoting FTX. I don't need to read you the bedtime story.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
In a very quick and dirty nutshell, it was a very, very large cryptocurrency exchange.
6, 7.
Commercial with
Huh?
Larry David, where it's, don't be like Larry.
Oh, 8.
Crypto's coming and you don't want to miss it. So hop on board. Choo-choo, this shit's going right to the moon. That kind of thing. It was
It's
this
gonna be
big
6.
hype train that seemed to have no end until it ended. The whole thing went tits up, completely collapsed, and was worth less than the gun stuck under your school desk. It was revealed to be fundamentally just a giant scam. And the person behind it, Sam Bankman-Fried, this Weasley goblin homunculus,
Are those
was
5?
basically just a big fraudster, the puppet master behind the whole thing.
Those are
And
5, I
so
guess.
the train
This and this are 5.
it spilled dust because there was no money in there at all. So many people lost so much. It was a complete catastrophe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A lot has happened. Not just with the people on the inside, like Sam Bankman-Fried, but even the people who were loosely connected to it, like brand ambassadors, for example. They've
1, 2,
already
3,
put
4, 5.
in the crosshairs. Tom Brady was a big FTX deal, as were quite a few other celebrities. But one of them I'd like to make special note of is Shaq.
What about that?
According to numerous sources,
How many?
Shaq
5 as well?
directly issued a lawsuit
Okay.
for his involvement with FTX, but is hiding from them in his own home. So it's just almost kind of comical to think about Shaq hiding from the FTX lawsuit, like real Looney Tunes style, like he's, crouching behind his bar.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Guys trying to deliver papers,
Okay.
but he can't find him, like a mission out of fucking.
It's 5 as well, right?
It's just a wild situation.
Okay, we're done.
Celebrities
And that's the wall.
because of all of this.
That's the size of the wall, apparently. Start. Let's go back inside of the tower for now to sleep. This is still not done yet. Still need to add rocks on that part, stones, whatever. What?
And CoffeeZilla just posted a video going over all of it in great detail, so I'll put a link to that. I just want to kind of give you the nitty-gritty of it and kind of get into what's going on and really what it means. Now, you might have had a little twinkle in your eye when you noticed a few of those familiar to you. That's totally natural because these are huge channels on YouTube. They have millions of subscribers, and all of them are financial channels. Their content is always centered around big shackles. The topics are money, making money, advice, following trends, crypto, the whole kit and caboodle. And speaking of recognizing,
So the design is simply that.
we actually have a cameo
A supervillain we may have seen in the past.
Bitcoin crypto. Man is named in this email. Bitcoin crypto is someone I made 2 videos on now. The first was when he sued a YouTuber who was making jokes about him. The second time was when he called a completely random woman a child molester because the woman was calling him out on promoting dog shit crypto. So, I'm not the biggest fan of Bitcoin crypto. So seeing his
Name and kind of gave me little butterflies in my tummy. I had a little smile like, oh wow. Wow, how the table had turned because usually Bitboy Crypto is the one administering these lawsuits, which is a joke CoffeeZilla
Why are they
also
calling-
made in his video because it's just an easy
Stop.
dump. Bitboy Crypto is very
What the-
loosey-goosey
what is
with frivolous lawsuits, and now he's being named in a big lawsuit. It's poetic to a certain extent. But I am going to have to go.
Bitch.
because Bitcoin crypto, as pointed out by CoffeeZilla, was actually one of the
What's
best
up?
financial channels who started calling out FTX before they even collapsed. And I didn't believe it when I heard that either. I didn't think I was even in reality anymore. I thought I got trapped in a Naruto genjutsu. The odds of Bitcoin crypto offering good advice are incalculably low. It's almost impossible. It's like almost as impossible as
Oh,
Netflix's
they're already here. What the heck?
Bitcoin
Excuse me.
players will fund offering
I'll just get my friend downstairs who just came by. Idiot. Okay, wait a second. Minecraft ako. Ewan ko. Ha? Ano? Na paano? Ay na? Buhay pa yun? May, mas maganda yung ano eh, yung Nova. Nova Artist. Ito kasi hindi man Nova Artist to eh. Yun yung brand niya. Artist. Artist yun, di Arctic. Artist nga. Basta yun, nung pinopronounce mo. Walang ligo. Ano ba yan? Bahal kayo. Ay, bawal. Ganun naman talaga. Isang oras lang talaga. Kaya nga ito na lang nilalaro ko ngayon, Minecraft eh. Tinry ko yung Apex, di pa rin optimize. Di na nila in-optimize talaga. Hinayaan na nila. Ha? Ano? Ano? Hindi naman pwede yung controller sa ano. Hindi man siya. Salay!
Gagaya ka ba lang?
Siyempre. Hindi naman ako magbibuild ng sarili ko. Kapagod kaya mag-isip. Pero yung iba dyan, wala mang interior, kaya ako pa rin yung gagawa nung sa loob. Oh, ako naman, sa tingin mo, hindi ba ako? Ah, concrete o kaya yung quartz. Mas mahirap yung concrete ngayon eh. Gagawin mo talaga yun eh. Parang magsisemento ka talaga sa concrete. Hindi. Clay.
Okay, naalala ko na. Dahil hirap magganap ng clay.
Ewan ko ba sa'yo? Saan? Dito? Hindi. Na yung sa mga server na ano talaga, libre lang. Pero yung gagawa kayo sa world nyo, kayong magkakasama, may bayad. Maliban na lang kung marunong kang gumawa ng server. Pwede. Oh. Dapat nasa isang LAN kayo. Kamay.
Hindi mo na inuubos ng gin na
Hindi. Minsan-minsan ko lang iniinom yan eh. Buntutan mo eh. Buktutan mo eh. Tali may pabinuktot day. Ayan.
30K. Maraming masasacrifice.
Di man. Pareho lang. Ay. Ha? Magre-resign naman talaga ako.
Baka una ko pang mag-resign.
Magre-resign nga ako, hindi man ako nagbibiro.
Ha?
Magre-resign naman talaga ako.
Hindi mo talaga. This year ka na rin, no?
Oh, this year na lang ako. Kangina. Una sa team namin, 18 kami. Tapos ngayon, 6 na lang kami. Sa tingin mo, hindi doble-doble yung trabaho namin.
Wala, maghanap ka ng reliever mo yan. Para wala ka nang inisip.
Anong reliever? Di naman. Problema na nila yun, nag-hire sila eh. Sa kanila na problema yun. Mga new hire nga namin, di man magtatagal din yung mga. Eh, sino ba magtatagal doon? Di man nila tinaasan yung sweldo. Baba lang din. Sa hirap ng trabaho namin, dapat hindi naman 20k yung sweldo namin eh. Hindi yung ibig sabihin lang ng contract loader, niloload lang namin yung kontrata ng mga hotel. Kaya contract loader yung tawag doon.
Kala ko kayo yung gagawang kontrata kayo. May ganun.
Hindi, sila na. Yung sa market manager na yun, kami yung maglalagay. Parang ano nga kami, programmer kami. Nilalagay namin yung mga contract nila. Kami yung magpaplano.
Sila na din yung mag-provide ng no, kaya plano ng mga point ng
Sila na yung mamimili doon, syempre. Kami nga, loader talaga kami.
pure contract loader talaga.
Kaso syempre, may mga promo doon na hindi magko-combine, hindi magsasama. Kami na yung mag-iisip na yun. Syempre, i-confirm namin sa kanila, ito yung mangyayari. Ganun. Pero sa kanila na nun. Tapos pag may, kasi approver na ako, no? Pag may nagkamali sa mga ko-correct mo pa, sasabihin mo pa kung ano yung mali nila. Ang dami na tuturuan mo pa, parang nasa support ka na rin, nakakasawa. Yun lang. Taas din na sweldo siguro ni Jun.
Pwede siguro mga
Alam mo?
Lalo ma-promote ko man. Dagdag na siguro nita. 3K. Ay! Mawala ka pala.
Yung ko sa'yo, ba't di ko pa umalis? Ano ba na-experience mo doon?
Pero pag nag-ano ka, pag na-promote ka doon, tapos lilipat ka.
Na-promote ka.
Hanggang bigla,
Na-promote ka.
tanong promoted pa ako. Tak na, gano'n yun, hinihintay ko.
Nasaan na yung promotion mo? Hindi na binigay.
Kulang ako. Maging sarili ko.
Hinihintay ko na talagang umalis ng mga yan. Kaya bounce na ako sa'yo. Kaya ano ka rin, kaya di ka rin makalis kasi iniisip mo yan.
Hindi pa ako maalis, wala akong time, mamo.
Kaya kung di ka magko-concentrate talaga na umalis, di ka rin talaga makakalis.
Dalawan, instant 30K.
At least hindi back to literal zero nun yan sa'yo.
Problema lang kasi kalaban ko mga fresh grad.
Sabagay.
Diba? Fresh grad mga kalaban ko.
Minsan, mas gusto nilang bayaran
Kaya
ng...
nga, kaya kipaton ako ang promoted ng kapatid.
Sure ka?
Mas pa.
Sure ka? pretty much it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pero anong naisipan nila? Anong naisipan nila? Ba't sila nagbabalak ng ganyan? Di ko sila miss. Di ko sila miss. Nakagawa mo. Ha? Sarado mo lang. Nakagawa mo ba ito?
Kaya galing to.
Napulot ko sa baba.
Mga Christmas gift.
Ay, raga. Gamitin mo na yung vape ni Kenneth para...
Pag ginagay mo pa?
Ha? Oo. Pag nakahiga ako. Siyempre.
Upay ka ng kuryente.
Ako yun sa internet.
Kaning
2K.
kasi
Wala na rin naman. Wala na rin naman akong ginagawa sa buhay. Okay na akong mamatay. Ha? Siyempre, nagkasakit ako kaya uminom ako.
wala ka sa kaya pag nagiginom.
Siyempre. Bakit inom ka pag may sakit ka? Hindi. Kumakanta.
Nabasa mo.
Ha? Dami pasok pa ako bukas eh.
Papasok na ba?
Oo.
Tatambay lang.
Hmm. Bahala sila sa buhay nila. Anong gagawa ng mga yan? Ano ang panyo binta rin bolang ngayon? Napasundo yata sa'yo.
Bahala kayo. Lao! Kaman ta? Magawa naman ta? Kaya na, altantan. Picture sa Luis Stay, sa lang mo yan. Walang biyan ako. Yang kita ako, di pa mo check ko kita sa Luis.
Nakapin pa mo.
Ay, narasi ito mga palikya mo. Wait ka? Di ba rin? Kung paano mong tatakin eh. Yung ko, may paano mong takin eh. Ala, isip mo talaga kayo kata na kasi kaya pagtunak mo to rin. Takot ka kasi makani. O, tabita na ako rin.
Mhm.
Mutay-takan yan. Puta ako pamilya ko. Eh, may kata ko may tayo kapatid. Magaling na yan eh. Magaling yung pantang yun. Yeah, porque. Kasi lagi kaya, hello! Sorry ka! Utay ka lang, alam mo! Alam mo ang taak yan, puta! Alam yun eh! Napag-iyak, meron ka po. Yeah, dahil na ka. Sige na, hindi, patya ni takay niya, kaya ako, mami plus ay. Sige, Agli. Hingita na kaya eh. Hingita na kaya kaya eh. Rotonda. Ay, puta mali yung tricycle. Sige, nakita na na. Pagka na, prepare ka ng alak mo. Ay, busin na lang namin yung gin dyan.
Ha?
Yung gin na lang.
Ano sasabi mo? Bahala kayo sa buhay nyo. Wala akong pakalam sa inyo. Wala. Condom, matin ko. Kaya ka naman mo yung mga sapatos ko. Bye-bye. Hindi ko na pagbubuksan ng crate yung mga... bahala na kayo.
Kasi susi, dadalhin ko.
Sige. Wala man akong susi sa labas.
Ibabalikan ako.
Sige, di ko naman pagbubuksan. Di naman ako magbubukas ng gate. Katok, katok na lang kayo. Katok na lang kayo. Ewan ko. May tao ba?
Wala ka, ikaw lang tao dito eh.
Ewan ko, meron. Sa second floor, meron. Alam ko.
Swipe, no? Swipe ko yung...
Alam ko may tao sa second floor.
Bumaba siya.
Lumabas na. That's for the back. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 yung blocks na ilalagay na. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hmm? Hmm? 1, 7, ha? Ang dami. Tama naman, di ba? 1, 1, 1, tama naman. Hmm? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't tell how many blocks that is. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. Tama. Dito, it stop at here. The last pillar. Here, it stop here. Oh. This should be open, huh? Like that? My problem is this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 from the pillar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, right. It's 5. Crap. I'll just end this stream here. I think my friends are gonna make a ruckus. So peace out. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.